Hello, my name is Supreme Bullshit Machine, also known as Tyler and Me. Today, I'll be attempting to draw Ratchet and Clank as old school gangsters, or space gangsters, or interdimensional gangsters, whatever! So, a thing I really like about the Ratchet and Clank franchise is that Ratchet is always carrying around this arsenal of huge weapons compared to his own size. And there's no way he can carry around these weapons. They're just too big and ridiculous. So what I wanted to do in my drawing is I wanted to give him an overdimensionized, huge laser minigun. Because I thought that would be pretty badass and pretty ridiculous. When it comes to drawing feet, I tend to struggle a lot. I don't really know why, but I can't really get the dimensions right. So I'm really struggling with drawing the feet, and I wasn't really happy with the end result, but it is what it is. And now it's time to draw Clank. Now, I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do with Clank. I wanted him to be this mafia boss kind of guy. He's smoking a cigar and he's cocking back a golden gun like a 1911 or something like that. So that's what I decided to go for. And it turned out alright, I guess. Alright, so my recording gear didn't work while doing the first outline for Ratchet. But it doesn't matter anyway, because I was a big idiot, and I drew the outline on top of my sketching layer, so I had to do it all over again anyways. So for outline, I'm using this rough charcoal brush because I think it looks pretty cool and makes it look more organic. And I really think it adds to the cartooniness of the art style I'm going with. Now it's time for basic coloring. Now when it comes to already existing characters, I like to stay as true to the original as possible. So I always use a reference photo where I take some color samples from, and then I adjust them so they match my art style and what I'm going for. But with the suit, which is not in the game, I had a bit more freedom to play around with the colors. At first I gave him this sand-colored tan suit, but it gave off too many Indiana Jones vibes, so I decided to change it to black because it looks a little bit more gangster. And for the gloves and the scarf and the boots, I chose a blue color because it works really well with the kinda orangey yellow fur that Ratchet has. Now when it comes to shading, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just playing around with colors, and if it looks good, it'll stay. If it looks bad, I'll remove it. I mean, of course, I try to imagine the object I am drawing in a three-dimensional space and where the light would be hitting the character. But other than that, shading is not really my expertise, and it's just something I eyeball, basically. Now, that's the characters done, but I think it needs a little more, a little backdrop for the characters. So I was thinking, in the new game Rift Apart, there are these like purple rifts in time and space, and I thought that would be a pretty cool backdrop for the characters. So I started out by creating the basic shapes and gradients in Illustrator, and then moved over to Photoshop for the finishing touches. After playing around with the background a little bit and some settings on Photoshop, this is the final result. Now, I'm not really sure I'm happy how Ratchet turned out. He looks a little bit derpy to me, but Clank, he's ready to bust some kneecaps, so it's all good. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the speed art, and you know, I'm a bit of a beginner artist. I don't really know that much about digital art, but I draw anyway, so I hope this gives you some inspiration to start drawing. I mean, anybody can do it. Just, yeah, put some effort and time into it, and you'll get something that looks decent.